I'm working, I try to get some panels ready. So as I'm doing something, he's able to prep. You got a guy on the ground, he's prepping. So you get your panels ready, so you're gonna be right. And we're using these. It's not a reverse J. You actually put this down and your panel, your trim clips onto this. So the part on the top side, this part here is not very critical at this moment. You can use a reverse J. Do you want to use a reverse J or not?
It's up to you, buddy.
Okay. I'll do a lower gambrel. I'll use a reverse J just to show you how that will work on that. That way, if you do have the instance of where that comes along, and then we'll use this on there so you can see how both of those work. Before I forget, okay, you have the dormer in here. And I had mentioned something about trying to figure out how everything's going to lay. Hook on. And right down 36 inches, 61 inches, 97 inches. So now you have your measurements at each part that has something coming into it. Don't forget 31, 67. The reason this is critical too is if you end up having a rib run right up in here in the valley, you're not going to be able to get this to flow very good. Can't really seal that up very well. So you want to try to keep your rib either this way a little bit more or that way a little bit more. And your dormer is 25 inches. 36 inches. So we got 16-inch panels. We're working with a 16-inch panel. It lays 16 inches. So now you have to figure out 31 inches, 16, 16, 32. So if you did that, started with the rib cut off, started with that here, you could work out with that one here, but then you're also going to have 64 inches is 4 panels, so that's going to be right in here. That would almost work. And then you have 96 and 7 inches, and 96 is an even number with 16 inches, so that would be right in here. So that would work very well too. So right now, this roof here works pretty well with starting with a full piece right on the end. Does that make sense? Lucky me. But I'm not going to do that because I want to have my rib come in a little bit. Because I want to be able to boot, because when I do these valleys, you're going to have one valley coming up underneath, coming up the roof, and then you're going to have another one coming on top. So you want to be able to make sure you got enough pan area to be able to get that to seal up. Okay. Any questions on figuring that out? Where to lay your panels, where to start them? I know there are some panels that they say it's a 16-inch panel. I haven't experienced it with the standing seam. I know ag panel walks a little bit, where walking meaning you get 6 panels down, all of a sudden you're running at quarter inch more than 16 inches. And also that can be if your guys are not putting their screw right in the middle of this slot. If they're not putting their screw right in the middle of that screw slot, they can actually help stretch the panel. The next thing you know, you're running longer than you need to. Well, that's also why, yeah. Lucky me, that comes out easy. But if your guys aren't paying attention and they're screwing the roof on and they get to walk, all of a sudden next thing you know, well, now it's not going to work anymore. That makes sense. Yes, sir.
What's your minimum staying away from an edge?
The minimum here, I like to have at least, so he asked what the minimum is to stay away from an edge. What I like to see in the valley, from your valley, center rib in your valley to where your panels go is 3 inches. So I like to continue that on down, at least. There may be some instances where you just can't make that work. I mean, you can get it tight down an inch if you need to. Some roofs, I did some roofs where I walked in there and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. And you end up having to think outside the box. Custom, I had to do pans where you had a flat part coming into other parts and you got all this stuff happening there. You have to build your own pans, get everything all, so it's all watertight. So if you can't get 3 inches on both sides, you can only get to 1 inch. It just takes a little extra work and you can do that. But I try to shoot for about 3 inches. That makes sense? Hey, thanks for checking out these videos. Hope what you learned was very valuable for you. If you've got any questions or comments or would like to see something else, please reach out on our email or on our website. Thank you.